There's a slight problem when it comes to collecting Seiko Kinetic watches. They generate their own electricity, which is great until you own more of them than you can wear. They don't have a manual wind capability, so you can sit there shaking them for days, or you can wear them, or you can charge them. Stick around and let me show you what I think is the best solution for those of you that repair or collect kinetics. When it comes to Seiko Kinetic technology, it's pretty fascinating stuff. A combination of an automatic wind watch with a quartz movement is something that's a little bit hard to wrap your head around at first. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Kinetic technology, let me just open the back of one of these and take you on a real quick tour of how they work. Okay, now we have the back off of this Kinetic. You can see the movement is not like a typical watch that you may be used to. With the rotor and the rotor wheel there, that looks like a typical automatic watch, right? And as that rotor moves, you can see the rotor wheel engaging with this intermediate wheel for the generating rotor, and the generating rotor here is spinning in a magnetic field which allows it to spin at some crazy speeds, and it will convert that relatively small movement of the rotor into electricity through this induction coil. And then that electricity is stored in the capacitor. So until this point, it's behaving like a normal automatic watch, right? The rotor is taking kinetic energy and using it to charge the watch, except instead of storing the power in the mainspring, in this case, it is turning it into electricity and storing it in this capacitor. From that point on, this behaves like a normal quartz watch. So power flows from the capacitor through the integrated circuit board and is used to drive a tiny little quartz crystal over 32,000 times per second. And those pulses are transmitted through the stepper motor coil to the stepper motor, which then drives the hands in very precise increments. And that's basically how the quartz side works, and that overall is how the Kinetic works. Okay, so now you have an idea of how these things work, and you can appreciate the problem that without a manual wind option, you have to keep that rotor moving, and that means shaking it or wearing it. But once you own more than 2 or 3 of these things, it becomes really difficult to keep them usable, keep them charged, without artificially exercising them in some way. One option is Seiko introduced their own charger, which was not really for public consumption. It was for repair shops. You can still get those today, but they're very rare, and when they do come up, they're very expensive in the $500, $600 range. They're also old technology, they're noisy, they're not always reliable, and they only give you 2 charging options, 30 minutes or 3.5 hours. Once I got my first Kinetic and figured out that even just repairing and flipping the wand, it was kind of difficult to make sure that, well, was the accumulator actually dead in the first place, or was there something wrong with the movement? And once I'd finished repairing it, would it take a full charge, and would it hold a full charge? And that is impossible without some kind of charging option. So I came across this. This is the KC1 charger from Kinetivations. It is offered through their own website or on eBay sometimes, and the cost is $199. Now, that might seem a lot for a charger, and maybe it is if you've only got one or two of these things. But once you get into repairing or collecting them, then that becomes more of a sensible investment. It's very simple in operation. You have the central target area with legends for all of the various kinetic models around the edge, and you basically take your watch. This is a 5M62. You locate the 5M around the dial. You place the watch in the center of the target area, line up the crown with the model number of your watch, and then it's just a matter of you turn it on with the switch, you hit the set button to switch it between 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, or 4 hours, and then you hit start and walk away. The light will flash while it's charging, and it will turn solid once the charge period is finished and the watch is charged. Different models will take different amounts of time. 30 minutes for a 5M62, a newer one with a brand new accumulator. That'll put several days worth of power in there. A full charge, 2 hours, will give a 5M62 a full charge which will last 4 to 6 months. Different models, older models, that full charge may only go as far as 1 month or maybe even less. But whichever model you have, the ability to be able to drop it onto a charger and have it ready to wear in just 30 minutes without having to sit there shaking it, it's priceless. So let me take you through a few use cases that I've kind of created for myself over the past couple of weeks and where I've found this to be incredibly useful. Okay, so here's a 5M model that I just got in, and it's completely dead. As you can see, no power reserve. So my first job is to put it on charge for 30 minutes and see what happens. Line up the 5M with the crown, get the watch as close to center as possible, and hit the start button, and the 30 minutes will start to flash. Once it's finished charging, 30 minutes later, that light goes solid, and we turn it over to see nothing. So that cell is completely dead. So here we have another 5M model, just got in from eBay. You can see the second hand not moving, nothing when you press the power reserve button. So let's just try shaking it and see if we get anything. And yes, the second hand is moving, so the charger's working. The cell is not completely dead. And yeah, we just get a few seconds out of it. It stops pretty quickly, but this one's worth trying just 30 minutes and see where we get. You use the set button to cycle through those times from 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and 4 hours. So turn this over, again line up the crown with the 5M and hit the start button for a 30-minute charge. 30 minutes later, flip it over. As you can see, nice strong tick once per second, which means it's got a good charge in there. Check out the power reserve, and we go all the way to 5 seconds, which means that's a good full day of charge. So this cell is taking a charge. So the next thing is to see, will it take a full charge and will it hold it? Because maybe this one doesn't need a new capacitor at all. So being a 5M, we're going to flip it to 2 hours, hit the start button, come back in 2 hours. 2 hours later, we flip this over. Again, we're getting a nice strong tick as we'd expect. Let's see the power reserve. And boom, all the way around to 30 minutes, which is 4 to 6 months with this watch. And we just wait 30 seconds to make sure the second hand starts ticking again, and there it goes. So here we are the following day. We're going to check to see if it's still holding a charge. Well, it has some, but not enough. So this watch needs a new capacitor. And here's the watch that was in the repair video last week, which you saw take a full 2-hour charge. And here we are 1 week later, and it's still got that same charge. This is a new capacitor, so you would expect that. Starts ticking again 30 seconds later, all good. There you have it. That's several different ways that you can use this, or where it would come in useful as part of your workbench toolkit. As for specifications, it will charge every Kinetic model that there is. It will also actually work with Bolivar motion quartz watches and any of the Epson Seiko Kinetic movements like the PX8 series. They are not actually noted on the legends on here, but there are instructions online as to how to place those particular watches so that they can charge. I guess at the end of the day, $200. Should you buy one? Well, if you've got one Kinetic, then no, of course not. I mean, you can sit and shake it for a while, get it going enough to at least get it moving, and then wear it. If you do leave it sitting in a drawer for any length of time, yeah, you're gonna kill that accumulator, and it's gonna be possibly a costly replacement, depending on whether you can do it yourself or not. If you watch last week's Kinetic repair video, hopefully you can see it's not actually that difficult to replace the accumulator. My repair journey on that occasion was a little more convoluted because there were more things wrong with that watch than just the accumulator. So, no, if you have 1, 2, then you should be able to keep them charged just by wearing them, using them. If you have a collection, you have 5 or 6, then this starts to become possibly worth the money. Certainly, if I wanted to keep all of these wearable, my automatic watches, for example, they're all kept on watch winders all the time. So I can just go and pick anyone out at any time, put it on and wear it without having to reset it and wind it. And that's how I would use one of these if I had a collection of Kinetics that I wanted to rotate on a regular basis. I would keep them charged initially using this, and you can wear them. If there's one that hasn't been rotated in for a while, then just drop it on the charger. With the newer models, like I say, you could drop it on for a 2-hour charge and you're good for 4 to 6 months then without wearing it. So yeah, if you're a collector, it does start to become worth it. If, like me, you're into actually repairing Kinetics, then it's absolutely essential. Being able to put a quick charge into a new watch to figure out is it completely dead or not. Being able to put a full charge in a watch that you finished repairing in just 2 hours and check that it holds that full charge, that's priceless. So for those of us who are heavy collectors or repairers of these watches, this becomes pretty essential. And that's it. If you don't own any Kinetics, this is not of any interest to you, and you probably turned off a while ago. If you are into Kinetics at all, then this may be of interest, depending on how you use them, how many you have. As for me, I mean, this, yes, was a great investment for my workbench, and I wouldn't be without it. So as far as is it worth it to you, only you can say. And that's it. pretty straightforward this week. If you like this kind of content, if you like tool reviews, watch repair videos, anything to do with watches, basically, then please do drop a like, help me with the algorithm, subscribe if you've not already done so, and until next time, goodbye.